Good morning. My name is Yael, and this is my colleague Victoria, and we work for the Environmental Sustainability section at Blacktown City Council. Firstly, I'd like to extend our gratitude for giving us the opportunity to present here today. So what we're going to run through is give you a bit of an introduction to the new guidelines for the establishment and management of community gardens in the Blacktown local government area, and my colleague would like to discuss or share a little bit of her experiences with making community gardens in partnership with developers. When we set out to develop a new policy and guidelines, we did so with the aim of maximising the opportunities for the establishment of new gardens, keeping in mind we needed an adaptable approach for the management of existing community gardens and one that would respond to the diverse needs of our growing communities. Council has around 11 community gardens, with several more on the way, and each of these gardens can fall into one of these models that the guidelines describe. For the purposes of the talk, I'll refer to these models as the partnership model, the public model, and the independent model. So if we look at the first model, the independent model, this is a model in which a community garden is initiated by an incorporated or auspiced group. So basically, this is the most common model you'll see used by councils in regard to community gardens. And in this case, the incorporated group approaches council and puts forward a proposal. Council assesses the proposal and, if approved, assists the group to establish the community garden, keeping in mind that adequate public liability insurance is a prerequisite. So this is our Laila Park community garden in Laila Park, a relatively new garden, and that was established with the assistance of the Common Grounds Community Cafe located across the road. This is the Oasis Community Garden, another independent garden, established in 2008, and that is located in Toongabbie. The second model, which is the relatively unique model to council, is a council-managed community garden, and in this case, the community garden is initiated and managed by council. Gardeners are inducted volunteers of council, particularly for insurance purposes, and this is based upon council's bush care volunteer model. In this case, council provides ongoing assistance, administration, resources, and education and training opportunities. So some examples of this kind of garden is the Grantham Community Garden located at the Grantham Sustainability Demonstration Site in Seven Hills. We also have the Lethbridge Park Community Garden located adjacent to the Lethbridge Park Community Hall and the Showgrounds Garden in Blacktown. Lastly, we have the partnership model, which is a garden that has been initiated as part of a large development proposal, which Victoria, my colleague, will just discuss shortly. But before I pass on, I just want to come back to the model framework and say that although one of the gardens fit into a particular model, they're not limited to stay in that model. For instance, a public garden whose group has organised themselves such can become an incorporated group and run themselves as an independent garden, and an independent garden whose incorporated group, for whatever reason, falls apart, gives council the opportunity to step in and manage them as a council-run garden until such time as they can become independent again. Thanks.
Hi. So Sydney's population is expanding, and it's looking to continue. A great deal of this expansion takes the form of housing developments identified by the Department of Planning as growth centres on greenfield sites. A great deal of these growth centres are located in Western Sydney. Sydney's northwest and southwest growth centres are expected to accommodate 181,000 new dwellings and land for employment for around 500,000 new residents over the next 25 to 30 years. This means for Blacktown an anticipated growth in population of 200,000 people and a substantial loss of rural land. A new role of our community development and environmental services sections involves working with large-scale residential development communities on the delivery of community facilities, which increasingly has included community garden projects. The land is basically set aside by the company and handed back to council for management, complete with infrastructure like taps, fencing, compost bays and border plantings. A common issue can be that housing developments are targeted and marketed to a different cultural and socio-economic audience to the people that currently live in the neighbourhood. It has been seen in some projects in the West that this can cause ongoing social problems, which are then left for councils and other agencies to manage. Social stigmas, once in place, can be firmly entrenched. Property developers are generally aware that they are selling a lifestyle. In fact, that is often the focus of their marketing messages. They would also be aware that reputations are fragile in our highly competitive world. Development projects that lack holistic vision will ultimately damage sales. It is crucial that positive and widely accessible projects be implemented when undertaking dramatic changes to an existing community structure. Which brings me to our community garden project. Connecting with natural processes and learning a degree of self-sufficiency can be healing in multitudes of ways. A wonderful aspect of food gardening and building is that there are tasks that can be accessible to everyone, irrespective of age, occupation, or cultural background. In embarking on an endeavour such as this, it is crucial that a garden be seen as a collaboration between the developer and the council. I've been attending monthly meetings along with my supervisor, a social planner, and a collection of representatives from Urban Growth and their partners. The community garden is just one aspect of the social planning that is going into the development. Another is a new multi-million-dollar community hub building that has been partially constructed out of straw bales by members of the local community. The 4-day construction workshop was catered by a social enterprise cafe, which employs chronically unemployed people and provides training and income for them. I have been conducting eco-gardening workshops and preaching sustainable lifestyle change to the people of Doonside. The garden will be designed in a series of workshops by the people living in the development and the surrounding suburbs. It can be seen through this new approach that developers and councils are starting to understand the importance of building community, and that a key approach is through community engagement projects that integrate the development into the existing community and the community into the development. Of course, community gardens address food security issues, but they can be a vehicle for all manner of social cohesion and healing in potentially fragmented communities. It is the time for local councils to use the popularity of food and food issues to implement projects in your local areas. Never has the support been stronger from communities, the media, and now even the commercial sector. What will your council do to search for partnerships and opportunities in our changing cities?
Thank you.